Hey, it's Dr. Shante, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, in the Black community, if you are a member of a Greek lettered organization, a sorority, or a fraternity, in the Black community, this isn't something that is just part of your college experience. It is something that shapes your life in a lot of ways, in terms of you stay in the organization, and all throughout life, you meet other members and you kind of grow your community of colleagues and friends and a lot of meaningful connections just through your affiliation with that fraternity or sorority. And in January, a lot of sororities celebrate the founding of their organization. And I'm a member of one of those organizations. And once upon a time, it used to be this elaborate to do. But in this video, I'm going to talk about how I celebrated Founders Day this year. And it was one of the best celebrations that I ever attended. And it was exactly what I've been talking about. It was a human, analog, no pressure gathering. Because one of the things that I am really going to be pushing hard and heavy this year is this idea that every time we get together, it does not have to be lights, camera, action, Instagram worthy. We got to pose for the picture, click, click, click. It doesn't have to be that, because honestly, that energy, just the thought of doing that takes a lot of people right out of the game. It takes people, it makes people not want to do it. And so this year, I attended a Founders Day celebration that didn't have any of that. And it was the best time. Keep watching. So I would say about a decade ago, it's really interesting how Founders Day celebrations have kind of ebbed and flowed over the years. In my organization, we always had like a luncheon to celebrate and commemorate the occasion. But social media made it this elaborate to do. Like, it kind of like opened up the doors, and now there were like a venue, a DJ, a theme, a dress code, a photo wall. Like, it was this big, elaborate, um, expensive gathering. And of course, first of all, I live in Chicago. So going out in January is not ideal. It's cold. Okay. So for me, you had to get an outfit. And because there's going to be pictures, you can't just show up looking any old kind of way. You got to be on theme, and you got to be on point, and you got to, hair done, nails done, everything did. And because these pictures are going to be shared far and wide, and it just became a lot, to the point where I just kind of started falling back like, happy Founders Day, everybody. Love ya. But this year, a couple of weeks before the occasion, I got a text message from one of my sorority sisters, Kim. She was like, Founders Day, my house, 708. That was it. That was the text. No other details. Like, there was no bring this, wear that. Here's the agenda. Here's the itinerary. It was 708, be there, be square. And I was like, you know what? Yes. Yes, because honestly, I hadn't planned on doing anything. I'm always grateful for the longevity of the organization. I have a lot of respect for and reverence for the history of the organization. But the idea of just being out in them streets, because I'm at the age where I'm not for the streets, honey. I'm for the sheets, like around 9:30, 10 o'clock, like this, right here. Okay. On this couch, getting ready for bed. Like, that is about my speed these days. And so I loved that I didn't have to find the perfect outfit or anything. And when I got there, it was Trader Joe's appetizers. And in Chicago, we have a grocery store. It's called Jewel Osco. We call it the Jewel. If Chicago, you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay, so the Jewel, and they have actually really good like wings. And so like it was like a bucket of wings from the Jewel. So you might have a Publix, you might have a Kroger, you might have a Piggly Wiggly, you might have some other grocery store, HEB, whatever. but it was basically grocery store wings, and it was Trader Joe appetizers and a little mini dessert, and it was a couple of bottles of like rosé or champagne or what have you. And it was a small group of members of our sorority, some I had never met, just piled around the kitchen counter, and we were just laughing and joking and hey girl and me too, and snacks and the whole thing. And then we had a toast to the organization, like clink, cheers. And that was it, and we talked about life, and we talked about menopause, because I am a woman of a certain age, and the brain fog and the challenges. And we swap numbers of doctors and specialists and supplements and things like that. And I know that sounds like this like old lady gang type of gathering, but actually it was exactly what I needed. I was like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And none of those pictures made it to the internet. And we were like, after a couple of hours, all right, girl, see you later. Mwah, mwah, same bat time, same bat channel. Let's do it again next year. And this is what I love, is that it's an easy ending. It's no pressure. It's, I have to bring this and I have to set up that and I have to, create a moment. It's none of that. And here's the thing. I am a Marquisha Stewart, okay? Like, that's my version of Martha Stewart. I am a Marquisha Stewart. I can show you some of the events that I have put together. I can show you some of the tablescapes that I have done, especially around the holidays. Like, don't give me a theme. Don't tempt me with a good time. I love all of that. I absolutely love it. So I'm not saying never do that. But to the extent that it keeps you from getting together with people that you like, love, know, care about, want to get to know, I think that it can be a hindrance to those types of connections. And so one of the questions that I have created this year to shape my year. So I created these 6 questions. If you don't know what the 6 questions are, go look at my YouTube shorts. They're all there. And some people are like, I love these questions. It feels so much more meaningful and expansive than just like setting goals. Like, hey, this is how much money I want to save, and this is how much weight I want to lose. The questions really do prompt you to think about being more expansive and being more genuinely connected to people. And one of the questions that is that I posed at the top of the year is, who do I want to be in community with? Who do I want to be in connection with? What types of connections do I want to make? And the types of connections I want to make don't require a whole lot of production. I want to be in community with writers this year. And so being in a community of writers doesn't have to be this massive to do. It can be, hey, we're going to hop on Zoom every other Saturday, and we're going to write for 30 minutes, and we're going to share our writing, and we're going to give each other feedback. And it can be as simple as that. It can be, we're meeting at a cafe, or we're meeting at somebody's house, and we're going to write, and we're going to have snacks, and we're going to find inspiration in one another. It can be as simple as that. And so I want to ask you, who do you want to be in connection with this year? Okay, what types of connections do you want to make this year? And then think about the things that are coming up for you. And so whether that is a birthday or an anniversary or a milestone, you might have been contemplating, like, I'm going to get on Substack, or I'm going to get on Medium, and I published my first article. Celebrate that. Invite people over, and share your writing, share things that you are reading, but think about it from the perspective that it doesn't have to have a theme. It doesn't have to have a budget. It doesn't have to have all of this trimming, okay, in order for it to be meaningful, in order for it to be memorable. And something that I'm getting into this year, getting back into, believe it or not, once upon a time, I used to be a scrapbooker. Y'all, I had stamps, I had stacks and stacks of paper. I had paper cutters, I had paper hole punchers, I had brads, I had chads, I had all the things. Scrapbooking can be a really expensive habit. Like you can break the bank on stationery. I'm not even joking. And so I had that chapter of life and I sold a lot of that stuff or gave it away. And now I'm getting back into like a smaller version of that. And so every month at the end of the month, and now we're at the end of the month, I'm going to go through my phone camera roll and I'm going to pick out 2 or 3 of the most memorable moments, of the moments that I loved, the moments where I was connected, the moments where I was in community, or things that just made me smile. And I have a little photo printer now that prints photos directly from your iPhone or your Android or what have you. And I'm putting those in a journal so that at the end of the year, I can just kind of look back and see these memorable moments. And I think that it's worth getting back to things that are tactile, getting back into things that are intentional, marking moments that say this mattered to me and it mattered enough to print it, it mattered enough to journal about it, it mattered enough to put it down on paper. And so these human, analog, no pressure gatherings are a wonderful way to do that. And even if you're not a member of a sorority, which, that was just my hang for January. That was an example of exactly what I'm talking about. It was my hang for January. Think about how you want to hang in February. Think about how you want to hang in March. What are some just human, analog, no pressure gatherings? Are there books you want to read? Is there music you want to listen to? Jill Scott has new music coming out. I mean, there's just so many wonderful things that are happening, even in the midst of civil unrest and chaos. And I think that stepping away from the curated, polished, perfected aesthetic is going to be is going to make gathering accessible for a lot of people, and I hope it makes gathering accessible for you. So hope you guys found value in this content. If you are not already, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you engage. I would love to hear how you are hanging out. Go ahead and drop that into the comments, and I will see you next time.